On this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, Israel has been under attack by the terrorist group Hamas, who is funded by Iran and just had $6 billion in assets unfrozen by the Biden administration. Is this a coincidence? In an interview with CNN, Hillary Clinton says that people that support Donald Trump need to be deprogrammed from his way of thinking because they are in a Trump cult. Funny how she doesn't talk about the Democrats that follow everything that Democrat leaders tell them to do. Some of the members of the Biden administration think that it's time to start building a wall back at the southern border, but Secretary Mayorkas and President Joe Biden say that a wall doesn't work and something else needs to be done to stop the surge of illegal immigration. Maybe a new president will work. All that and more on the Cajun Conservative Show right now. How you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show. A lot going on in the world today, ladies and gentlemen, and it is too much for me to comprehend on my own, so I have a guest coming up in a few moments. Knows a lot about the state of Israel, and that's where we're going to get off today, ladies and gentlemen. Just off of the bat, I hope you're having a good day, good week, wherever you are. Remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Want to give a shout out to Hair Club. In America, hair loss is a problem for most Americans. 60% of men have to deal with hair loss by the age of 50, and 50% of women will experience hair loss in their lifetime. Now, some people are not worried about their receding hairline, but if you are, I want to tell you about Hair Club. Hair Club has 40 plus years of dedication to restoring hair and rebuilding confidence. They have over 650 expert consultants and 120 locations across America to help you on your journey to stop your hair loss. If you would like to see what Hair Club can do for you, go to the description of this video and hit the link to their website and schedule an appointment with one of their consultants and they will get you where you need to restore your hair. Remember to use the promo code BGS Media at the checkout to get 10% off of your price. Ladies and gentlemen, go check out Hair Club if you have any hair issues. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and introduce our guest. He's very special to me, my brother and the co-host of Brothers Just Searching, Mr. Anthony Hayes. Hey, Boogie, what's happening, man?
Not much, man. I'm just chilling and just getting ready for work tomorrow.
Getting ready for work, Well, when this episode airs, we will be at work.
Oh, so, yeah, we'll be working.
so we're living in the past right now. But,
right.
Boog, and we call you Boogie.
Sure.
So if anybody listens to Brothers Just Searching, we call him Boog.
Right.
Boogie, there's a lot going on in Israel right now.
Right.
We had some other stories lined up. I pushed those to the back because, as a lot of people know, unfortunately, Israel has been attacked.
Sure, right.
Israel was under attack by Hamas, a terrorist organization that is funded by Iran. Now, you might be asking the audience, Isaac, why are we worried about this? Because, I don't know, but it's kind of funny, the timing. A few weeks ago, we talked about America handing $6 billion to Iran.
Right.
And it was for some American souls. Thank the Lord we brought them back. But I said at that time, I hope this don't come back to bite us in the rear end. Well, it didn't bite us in the rear end, but it bit one of our closest allies in the Middle East. I believe it was 600 rockets at the count. Almost 2,000 people have either been killed or injured. Handed off to Benjamin Netanyahu, who told the citizens of Gaza, if you're Palestinian, you better move. Because we're about to put this place into rubbish. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. Right. But throughout the day and watching this, it has been confirmed now that Iran did just not pay for the rockets or pay Hamas. They planned this attack.
Wow.
And look, I'm going to be honest with you. You love the state of Israel.
Right.
You have followed Israel for many, many years. And I really want to get your input on what's going on. So overall, what do you feel before we get into my opinion of this?
Well, this is what people got to realize about when it came to Israel. You see, the Muslims are really they hate Israel very much.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Matter of fact, a lot of people don't know it. I know that I don't want to bore people with history, but to understand these things, you have to go back to history. You see, matter of fact, when Hitler was actually trying to start the
Annihilate.
Holocaust, yes, most people don't know that most of the Arab countries were with the Nazis. Matter of fact, they actually had Nazi brigades, Arab Nazi brigades in the Middle East. And so they said, well, Britain and Israel, the Britain and the Jews are our enemy, so we're going to join people who are against our enemies. So a lot of people don't know that the Tali of Jerusalem at the time, he was friends with Adolf Hitler. He was, till they exiled him out of Jerusalem. So my whole point is the Arabs or Islam itself, it's very determined to get rid of Israel. And they joined with the Nazis back in the 40s. They were very close. And so, matter of fact, I heard this. I don't know if this is true. Hitler's book, Mein Kampf, I think in Europe and America and the West is banned. But did you know in Iran, I heard that it's still being read and published.
Wow.
Hitler's Mein Kampf. So it's still, my understanding is it's still read there. So the hatred, the Arabs or the Islam always had a hatred. But I feel it got worse when Hitler started his stuff. I think it got even worse.
Well, you got to realize soon too. Hitler was the father of the Holocaust.
Sure.
6 million Jews, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear about this, but that was because of race.
Yes, it was. And Spider Goldbergy, whatever was her name.
Yeah, Whoopi
is.
Goldberg.
Yeah,
Whoopi!
Whatever she
Goofy.
says, whatever she
Goofy.
said, it's not true. It was based on race, so she kind of misunderstood or lied, whatever the case. But the thing is that, no, it was based on race.
Yeah, and going back to that, look, we know that the not the Arab nations, well, yeah, the Arab nations too, but the Iranians are, they just hate Israel. They want to annihilate Israel off the face of the map.
And it's based on religious
Absolutely. Well, and if
Yeah.
you go to that point, you'd have to go back to biblical context. Remember, God told Abraham that he was going to have a son that and him, both their sons will be in conflict for the rest of their life.
They're actually cousins, the Jews and the Arabs. So
Yeah,
it's a family feud.
It's
really.
a family feud. It's just funny how that little piece of earth is causing so much division amongst all this stuff. But going back to this book, and look, we are a political show. We have this dove into history. You know what gets me about this? And Israel is one of our closest allies.
Yes, yeah.
Iran,
One of the best friends we can have.
Yeah, one of the best in the Middle East, at least.
Right.
There was the Abrams Accord that Donald Trump put into place. It solved a lot of the problems in that region. But this terrorist group was funded by money. And then a lot of people might not. A lot of people saying, "Well, no, that wasn't it because it's too short of time." I have an article here by the Daily Wire. The timeline means that the attacks were planned around the time that the Biden administration reached a deal in mid-August to unfreeze $6 billion for Iran. And since money is flexible, Iran could have freed up other budgetary resources to support terrorism. That is according to a report from the foreign policy expert at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, a nonprofit focusing on national security and foreign policies. Israel is our ally, and we went ahead and freed up $6 billion, and all of a sudden there's an attack. Boogie, I don't know about you. That's too much of a coincidence right there.
Right. It just, people got to realize war is money. People don't realize that. And I'm not trying to be a conspiracist person here, but there are people with an agenda. We have a government right now, more than all the governments we have or administrations we ever had in history. They have an agenda. See, people don't realize the more wars you create, the more money people make. See, that's why a lot of people think that John F. Kennedy was probably assassinated because he wanted to end the Vietnam War, and that was a lot of profit and money. So war, don't make no doubt about it. War is money. It's very profitable for war. And I feel this administration we have right now, inflation is up. They're doing everything. I think they're trying to do everything. They're trying to make everything as hard as possible. They're trying to put as much pressure on us so we can come in and accept their deals. history proves that every time, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy, but it is coincidence and you can't deny it. Wall Street, the collapse of the Great Depression, all these things I think are done purposely or planned to get people so much desperate where they're like, hey, let's accept the government's plan. Kind of like in the Great Depression, the people didn't want the government's help, but things were so bad, they were like, man, we have to take government subsidies. So they're doing it on purpose in some cases.
You know what gets me, Boogie? A lot of, with this administration. Now, look, Biden has today, he has launched where we're sending some warships out there to protect Israel and stuff. He has said Israel has the right to defend themselves.
At least he done that.
But Boogie, we wouldn't been in this spot.
Exactly.
We wouldn't been in this spot.
Right,
now look, I can understand people on the left. They debate me and they say, Isaac, what about the people that were that were released from the Iranian? Look, I'm happy for that.
Right.
But $6 billion?
Yeah.
And their main focus is attacking Israel.
Yeah.
Why the heck does our nation, oh, no, correction, not our nation, our president think that releasing $6 billion, then Iran just got off the terror watch list. They need to get back on it again.
Right. I mean, I can't prove it. It's my speculation. I just think Iran just gave him a bunch of, Iran made a deal with him. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Joe Biden could have maybe made a deal, or they could have made a deal with money. It's hard to tell with this administration we have. They're so crooked. I mean, it's unreal. But the thing about Iran, though, is that Iran is pushed by zealous religious fervor. You got to understand, in their eschatology, I know there's some people who listen to you in the audience, some believe in the Bible, some, I don't know how much they're into the Bible. But to understand why Iran was attacking Israel, you have to go to their religious part. They actually believe in their prophecies. They believe that in their eschatology, that Jesus, they call him Isa, that's another name for Jesus. He cannot come back into this world until every single Jew is wiped off the planet.
Wow.
So Iran, that's why they attack Israel so much, and that's why they have to destroy Israel for their iman to come into the world. So they're really, if I heard it right, they're doing it by religious fervor. That's why they're attacking. And of course, Islam just hates Jews, or any infidel that don't believe in Islam. And now, of course, we're not saying that every Muslim or every Arab is out there to kill or to kill people. There are some peaceful Muslims out there. They're just, hey, we just want to worship our religion. We just want to live peacefully. But the radical ones force them to be radical. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're really radical. They hate the United States. I think they call Israel the little Satan, and they call the United States the big Satan. So thing is, though, you see, they can get rid of them. They can fulfill their end times events. So that's one of the reasons why most people believe. One of the reasons, there could be others, but that's one of the reasons why they're trying to destroy Israel is to believe.
Now let's talk about this, because like we said, America has helped Israel, and unfortunately this administration doesn't have the best track record for helping Israel.
Or any of our allies.
No, none of our allies. Unless it comes down to NATO and Ukraine.
Or anything more United Nations.
Let me say it like this. Ukraine... Look, Ukraine is suffering. Don't get me wrong. I want people to understand.
Right.
Ukraine is suffering with the Russia invasion.
Sure.
But I think if Israel would get just as much money as Iran, as Ukraine does, Iran wouldn't even fought with them, because at the last point, I know maybe like 3 or 4 billion has gone to Ukraine already.
Wow.
A lot of money. And I could be wrong on the figures, but let's go to Israel's defense. Benjamin Netanyahu, I said this earlier, made a statement where he said, listen, if you are in the Gaza Strip, you need to be careful, or you need to at least get out of there, because we're going to turn the Gaza Strip into rubble. Now, like I said, going back to history, the Arabs wouldn't even have the Gaza Strip if it wasn't for George Bush.
Right, that's true. Yeah, 2002 or 3, I think.
Yeah, and that was one of George Bush's worst decisions ever.
I agree.
But Netanyahu, look, it's funny how this all played out. Netanyahu wasn't the prime minister a couple of months ago.
Nope.
The parliamentary system set it up to where they would have a right winger, then a left winger. Benjamin Netanyahu's conservative parliament took over Parliament again and put Benjamin Netanyahu. If they would have that other joker in there,
they wouldn't have that.
they wouldn't have protection they have today.
Well, you got to understand, it's called the appeasement politics, we call it. What they do is like, hey, if you give the Muslims or the Arabs land, in return you will get peace. Okay, and the only one I find that kind of worked a little bit was the one with Egypt, when Jimmy Carter did with Egypt, when he made Israel gave up Mount Sinai when they conquered it in the 1967 war in the 60s, and they gave it back to Egypt. So that kind of helps some, but at the same time...
But why is always Israel? Why is always Israel got to give up land? Why don't the Palestinians give up land?
Yeah, or no one else gives up land.
Nobody gives up land. And look, we even have elected officials. I don't have... if I would have collected all the articles, it would have been... You know how much elected officials are either on the verge of blaming America and Israel for this crime? There is one, I think it's a Washington Post editor that blamed the Republican Party for the war that's going on in Israel today. Because Congress has let out... and this was planned months ago when the Biden administration gave money to the Arab nation of Iran.
Well, you got to realize...
Iran, whatever.
You got to realize America... We got to go through a little history here now. Now, I'm going to tell people something that's going to shock them. And I don't get why mostly Jews in America. I know they're not all religious. Some are very, very liberal. I mean, was the one who ran against...
Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, he's really liberal. And so he's Jewish. So there's a lot of them, they're Jewish. A lot of them were Marxists. But this is the thing people got to realize... I don't understand why the Jews vote Democrat. That's like the blacks. I don't understand why blacks vote Democrat. Because you look through history, they were not friends of the Jewish people, Democrat Party in general. Because take example, when President D. Roosevelt, everybody praises D. Roosevelt, Republicans and Democrats. Oh, he was a great... I'm not saying he didn't do some great things, okay? I'm not saying God did not use him when it came to some things. But did you know when Hitler was starting his Holocaust... Did you know Hitler said, I'll send a bunch of Jews on ships. I'll send them to you on luxury ships. Said, I'll send them to you in America if you want them. And he sent a bunch of Jews on ships to the United States. And did you know President D. Roosevelt told them they couldn't come in, and some had papers to come to the United States. And he said, no, every port in the United States refused to take those Jews. And even Cuba... of course, if they did, you have to pay this kind of money to get to Cuba. If you did, but it's just the idea they had to go back to Europe, and those are the Jews who died in the Holocaust. So that's how I don't understand. It really scratches my head to know why Jews in America.
But especially now.
Yeah,
especially now. Let's go back to the political side of it. And the Democrats are going to fight tooth and nail, say, look, no, it was not that $6 billion. It's just funny how they started planning this after they got the $6 billion of unfrozen assets.
Right.
It's just funny, okay? It's just funny. And then you have people blaming Republicans and blaming America or blaming the Jewish people for this problem. But, look, if I was a Jewish person... I would be thinking, wait a minute, he just gave $6 billion to our arch enemy.
Right.
And look, like I said, because you have to look at the whole story around it. There was Americans involved, and they came home.
Right.
I'm happy for that.
Right. When the Iran deal.
Yeah, with the Iran deal. But come on, look, it's the same thing with the with the Obama administration.
Right.
When they made the Iranian deal, sending them a crates full of money.
Right. Money we could have probably used
money
there.
we could use, or we could have sent to Israel.
Right.
Oh, let's have peace with Iran. Why?
Yeah.
A two-pit country that can't, in my opinion, can't hold up to the military. You know why they haven't attacked America? Because if they do that to America, America's going to send a nuke.
Yeah.
And then again, this president, we don't know.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, it really blows my mind how so many groups of people can still vote and still cling on to the Democrat Party when their history, but you see, they don't know their history. A lot of people, it's been hidden. See, the Democrat Party, it's been proven already. They pay and they print our papers or our school system, and they fix our books, our textbooks, where it don't hurt the Democrat Party. You know how many, like, we're not trying to get off the subject, just the idea. You know how many blacks or African Americans don't know that the Republican Party was the party that freed them? they got this idea since the 60s, or they think in the 70s, they got the blacks thinking that the Democrat Party is for them. And no, it was they were started by the KKK.
Yep.
You know, so I'm just amazed how, you know, Jewish people too. I wonder how many Jews know that they're you know, President D. Roosevelt sent them a lot of their people back
Probably
into
not.
Europe.
Because
they don't know.
You remember Rush Limbaugh, the uninformed voter?
Right.
That's what a lot of them are. They're uninformed voters. But with the little bit of time we have left in this first segment, how long you think this war is going to go? Because Israel did declare war on Hamas. Iran has said they want to push every single terrorist group on the border between. They want to crush Israel from sea and land. America is weak right now. The only one Biden really cares about is Ukraine, in my humble opinion.
Right.
Like I said, he has sent warships. How long you think this war is going to last? And do you think America is going to support Israel in this war?
Well, history proves that America was always in the middle, I guess you can say, because history proves, there was sometimes America helped Israel as a nation and as a people, and there was sometimes she betrayed them. So this administration, they look like they play a victim's game a lot. So I think I'm looking for them to support more of the Arab or the Palestinians. I could be wrong, because I heard one of their black African leaders, she's liberal, and she quoted, if I heard it right, she said, the way that the way the Palestinians are suffering is just like the African Americans when they were impressioned by the whites. And
that was one of the squad members.
Yeah. So it tells you what they view. They believe that the Palestinians are oppressed people. They believe, you know, they need to be liberated, and Israel's the big bully. So we'll see what happens. I think the only reason why the liberals are going to support Israel a little bit, because they want the Jewish votes. They do need Jewish votes. Even they are a small population, they still need Jewish votes. And there's other reasons, but I think they probably go more to the Palestinian side. That's just me. I could be wrong.
Look, thank you for coming on short notice, man. I had to call you and get you on here.
Yeah.
But until next time, that was Mr. Anthony Hayes. He is the co-host of Brothers Just Searching, also the writer of The New Kingdom with Limited Man and the Evil Stones. Go check it out on his. Go check it out on Brothers Just Searching. We would encourage you to go listen to that. So when we come back, we'll be talking about Hillary Clinton's statements on MAGA. We're going to be talking about that in a few moments, so please stay tuned. We'll be right back in a few moments.
I want to stay for that.
From white-collar criminals to violent crime, Marty Maley has prosecuted it all. A professional criminal prosecutor, not a politician. A statewide leader among professional prosecutors. An instructor for local law enforcement and police officers. Marty Maley cares. He's the leader of an early intervention program to keep children out of crime and jail. An attitude of service, a heart for people. Marty Maley, Attorney General.
Cleansed and made us whole. Not one hoof, not one soul.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative Show today. Anthony, my brother Boogie, co-host of the Brothers Just Searching program, decided to stay with us. So I'm going to go ahead and I told him, hey, just stay for the whole episode. So we're going to be talking a little bit, and we just talked about Israel in this episode, how Israel, you know, Boog, you know, you mentioned some earlier. You was just hearing on the television how they said that America has always been Israel's friend, but not necessarily. We talked about it a while ago. Bush in the early 2000s telling them to give up the Gaza Strip. Right. You got Jimmy Carter saying, hey, you should give up land for peace. Even time of Bill Clinton, you thought Bill Clinton made a peace deal, and then Asa Arafat goes ahead and says, hey, we're going to take this time of peace to destroy Israel. Right. So, no, look, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just America. You know, how you say that? If you have friends like that, who needs enemies?
Well, this is what people don't realize. I was watching this video one time, and they were talking about Israel. They said in the intelligence office, they said people who are intelligence people, they said there was times where, yes, like I said, we supported Israel, in some cases, but there are some cases where we actually did portray Israel behind the scenes. You know, we gave the Arabs, they claimed that some of our Secret Service gave, information.
And unlike a lot of other topics, this is a non-partisan issue because Republican and Democrat have done it, and that is
Both
sad.
sides.
It's sad, but okay, why the heck? It's just going back to going back in my memory, or just back in my thoughts. Why the heck would a president of the United States get unfreeze $6 billion? Look, this is why I say there's an issue with backwards Joe.
Right.
You think about it, right, Book? It's you have this man that is giving money just not to our allies' enemies, but to our enemies. Iran don't like us either.
Well, yeah, they call it the
And
Great Satan.
what if they would have said this? Oh, you know what? We got that money. Let's turn it back on. Let's not go after Israel. Let's go after America.
Right.
Did you see this president trying to run a war?
Lord
Knowing him, he would tell, hey, the southern border's over. Just come through.
Well,
And we're going to talk about that in the third segment in a little bit. So,
Right. But I mean, to be honest, I was hearing, I won't mention the guy because if people go crazy if I tell them the name. But this guy that I watched, they say he's a conspiracy person. He is in a way, but some things I agree with him on, some things I don't. But he claims that there's a guy that said that he knows in the White House. He was an intelligent person, and he said that he is the most controlled president we ever had in history.
That's not a conspiracy.
That is so true.
Look, fact checkers, y'all, go check me on. There's a video of Joe Biden saying, I get told more orders than I give orders out.
I've seen the video.
So that's not, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's just
and he said it himself. I heard it. Of course, we getting close to the election, hardly no one's gonna report on it. Maybe Fox and Newsmax, maybe, and platforms like you. But he said, they asked him, do you worry about America's economy? He says, no, I care about the world's economy. So what he's doing, he's just living up to what he said he'd do.
On some side notes of this war that's going on in Israel, all prices are probably going to go up because, they clip a toenail in the Middle East. Gas prices
they got us
up.
so dependent on them.
It just, and like Iran, I could be wrong, but didn't they make a deal for oil? Like they can pollute their land, but we can't pollute ours.
Yeah,
that's why we need to be all independent. Iran, and look, a lot of people say, oh, Trump supporter. I don't care. It's just fact.
Yeah,
we didn't have no trouble in the Middle East when Trump was there.
Nope.
It's kind of funny how we
were oil independent.
We was all independent.
Yeah.
And that's why Iran didn't do nothing. Now we're trying to depend on Iran for oil. It's just, man.
Well, this is the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, some people say, well, y'all Christians, y'all don't care about the environment. And that's not true. Because according to the Bible, we are supposed to take care of the planet.
Look, it said about the same thing. Look, hunting season just came about in Louisiana. I haven't had a chance to go hunt yet. But you know how many people I hear tell me as a hunter, you don't care about wildlife?
Right.
Really? Why you think that the hunters of America put a season on themselves?
Right.
Because we wanted the food there, yes, but at the same time, we put a limit on everything because if you had a limit on squirrel, for example, now squirrels produce like crazy, but if you would have a limited season on squirrel, one time of the season, you get sick.
Right.
And second, there wouldn't be hardly no squirrels for to play around in the park.
Right. So there's a balance, but the thing is, we need to make sure that we're oil independent. We don't, or foreign countries. We don't want to be so dependent on China, Iran, and these other countries because they're gonna have us controlled. I mean, most of the Democrat Party, some Republicans too, some rhinos, but most of the Democrat Party, they like overseas dealings. They like to deal with China and Iran, and they're getting us, and through the global warming movement, they're getting us, dependent on them. And they're going to control us by the throat if we don't do something. That's why we should be oil independent. I'm not against trading with countries. But
I'm not either.
But we shouldn't be so dependent on them where we have to go beg to them or like, hey, if y'all don't do something, we're going to be destroyed or we're going to lose our economy. And they're like,
unfortunately, we got Backwards Joe in there.
Yeah.
And Backwards Joe,
he loves overseas dealings.
Yeah, what's good for America is not good for him, and what's not good for America is good for him, apparently. But hey, he don't make his money that way.
Right.
If it goes to the point of the Biden impeachments and all that stuff. Anyway, let's go on to another topic.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the two-time failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, according to this article, is not over her 2016 loss. Now, this is an opinion piece, but on Thursday night of last week, Hillary Clinton sat down with the Clinton News Network, CNN.
Oh, that figure. Yeah, that figure.
Hey, look, that's what they used to call them back in the 90s, the Clinton News
Yeah,
Network.
it was.
Before Fox News, that was the Democrats.
And everybody called Fox the Bush Network.
Yeah, the Bush Network.
I remember that.
But anyway, when she sat down with Christina Hopper to discuss a range of issues, including former President Donald Trump's sustained popularity. Now, a lot of people know that Donald Trump is leading
Wow.
in the polls right now. Now, I don't hold the polls. Boogie, you know why. We've talked about this on air, off air before.
Yeah.
But it's just not change. It's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. You put your life on a poll, and the poll comes out wrong. Look what happened in the last two elections.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was discussing a range of topics, including Donald Trump. Donald Trump's leading over 50% of polls by the GOP. And at the last ABC Washington Post poll, Donald Trump was winning by 10 points against President Joe Biden.
Wow.
So Donald Trump has a wide range of popularity, even with his indictments and whatnot. But Hillary Clinton made some waves the other day by telling this news person, Miss Christina, I'm going to call her by her first name, while discussing the vibe within the GOP, Clinton spun off that so many of these extremists, those MAGA extremists, we're extremists.
Oh, right.
We're extremists, not the people that blow up since six
Or
rockets
not
to
the
Israel,
terrorists,
or
yeah.
not the Democrats that went into cities
Right.
and burn cities.
Sure.
Yeah, they're not extremists.
Yeah, they're not terrorists, no.
They take their marching orders from Donald Trump,
Oh, really?
who has no credibility like she does, left
Yeah.
by any measures. He's only in it for himself, like Hillary Clinton was never in it for
Of course,
herself.
none of them not, yeah.
He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. Trump has faced a wave of lawsuits, lawfare against him since leaving the Oval Office, and is currently facing 4 indictments carrying 91 charges. All of the left, Clinton wondering, when do they break with him? The lady asks. Because at some point, maybe there need to be a formal deprogramming
Oh,
of the cult
indoctrination.
members. But something needs to happen, she said in her classic concerning tone. Now, when they asked her about this later on, she doubled down on it. She goes, no, I think they need to have a deprogramming of MAGA extremists. Now, you have the President Joe Biden always going on television saying that, it's for these MAGA extremists. Boogie, I gotta make America great again.
What's wrong with that?
My God, you want to make America great?
It's the world.
Ooh. But they need to deprogram us. Now, Boogie, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't know I haven't asked you who you favor in this presidential
I'm
election.
independent, so.
No, but I'm asking you as a candidate. I don't know if you favor Trump, DeSantis, Tim Scott.
Yeah.
But I like DeSantis. Donald Trump is my close number 2. I like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But Boogie,
Yeah.
we are extremists. We're extreme. And you know what they always push to? See these extremists going up to January 6th. What about the Democrats?
And the liberals.
The liberals that went up in Washington, D.C., and they had to push Donald Trump in a bunker. A lot of people don't remember that.
Well, this is what gets me. It's amazing how they say things, and it's just amazing how they're really hypocrites. If you think about it.
Hypocrisy at its finest.
Well, get this. She says, I remember hearing this sometimes. She said, these people who like Trump, they're a cult. And I'm thinking to myself,
she said it here.
Yeah,
she said it here in
watch,
this interview with
watch,
Clinton News Network.
But they're not a cult, okay? They're not a cult at all.
No.
No, because listen, when President Obama was running, they had one news guy. He said when he was in front of him, he was just not even far from him. He had chills down his leg spines. I remember that, and he said, "I got the goosebumps."
What about when Hillary Clinton lost the election in 2016? There's a meme out there of a woman screaming, "No!"
Yeah,
Yo, you ain't worried. That ain't a cult.
And not burning buildings and not getting upset because they didn't get their way. That's not a cultic. No, it is when she said that, that's indoctrination. And when they're trying to get kids films like propaganda, that's why I call them propaganda films. Now, when you can't watch children's movies now, cartoons, was it Paw Patrol now?
Yeah, Paw Patrol. Yeah,
they're all going. They're using. I hate to say that they're doing what Hitler and the Nazi Party, the propaganda films. It's amazing how even the liberals and Democrats will watch it. Well, look how Hitler was trying to indoctrinate the Germans and the young people. Well, what do y'all think y'all doing?
But listen to her talking about that though. Listen to her statement.
Mm-hmm.
She said that. Let me find it.
They're doing the exact same thing.
Because she said, because at
propaganda.
some point maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of this cult member.
Yep, like Hitler did.
Who's going to lead that? First off,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing when I had an issue with the Second Amendment. They wanted people to have gun safety, and the government decides who can get a gun and who don't. So who's going to make that decision? The government?
Sure, the big government.
So who's gonna say what's right and wrong? Look. Okay, I can understand there's some people out there that have their issues with Trump. I'm good friends with a Republican that says if it's Donald Trump and Biden, he's not gonna vote. I have a whole issue with that.
Of course, the Democrat Party will love that.
Oh, they love that. But if you go, who's going to be in charge of these deprogrammings? What is right and wrong?
I won't trust Hillary Clinton.
No, don't trust. No. That's like trusting a rattlesnake in your backpack.
No.
That.
But it kind of makes me wonder, like when Hitler was attacking the Jews, it kind of makes you wonder if they're trying to set us up for that. Like if you're a conservative or you're a Christian, you're a terrorist, or I'm starting to wonder if they're doing what Hitler's doing.
They're already doing that now, Boogie.
Yeah.
Come on, look, remember you asked me about that a while back, and that guy is in court right now. But a Catholic man went in front of an abortion clinic.
Right.
Because it's coming out with Dinesh D'Souza's film, Police State.
I want to go see it, man.
Right. And they made that point in there. And
Police State, huh?
Yeah, it's called Police State. They came out, and you asked me, well, what about this? This man was just protesting in front of an abortion clinic. The FBI in full SWAT gear went after a dad.
Yeah, right. And said he was a terrorist.
Yeah, he's promoting hate speech. You have the freedom of speech. Now, should you say certain things in public settings? No.
Right.
I agree with that.
You
but at
see-
the same time, come on, man. So the Democrats can spew anything they want, and they're not a cult. They're not programmed. They're not nothing.
Well, this is what you got to realize about the socialists and the communists. And that's what they are. They're socialists and communists. I was hearing the other day, I don't know how true it is. I was listening on the radio. This guy said, I think it was in the 70s or 80s, there was a guy who wrote a book, and he said, we don't need communist parties no more. We got the Democrat Party.
Oh, yeah.
So if that is true.
And look, going back to my inspiration for this show, Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Remember, Rush Limbaugh said it. A lot of people try to sugarcoat socialists. And no, the left wing of the Democrat Party is no longer a socialist party.
They're communists. It's
when you
obvious.
have a president and a Democrat Party that tries to take away your gun rights, and a lot of people, they always go around, we're not against the Second Amendment. We just think certain people shouldn't have guns. That means you're against the Second Amendment.
You see, this is what they do. They're not stupid. They won't come out and say, hey, we want to take your gun rights away because we want to control y'all. They know nobody's going to fall for that. So what they're going to do is they're going to say, well, a person who is stupid, they shouldn't have a gun, so we should make laws to stop stupid people, retarded people who are not healthy to have guns. But watch us how they're going to do that. They're going to say, but if you're a conservative, we consider you not healthy. You're not right in the brain, so you can't have a gun. Are you a Christian? You see how they're going to turn it?
This goes back to Hillary Clinton's statement saying, hey, we're going to deprogram you like we're computer chips or something.
Yeah. Well, Hitler did that. People don't realize when Hitler didn't go after the Jews and all them first. He said, I just want to get rid of the people who are retarded or people who are sick. Right. So I want to get rid of them because they're not available to state. He took one baby step. The next thing, he went after the Jews. He went after certain other groups of people. So they're not stupid. They're following the playbook.
Look, and the gall of this woman to make that statement.
Oh,
we got to deprogram them from this cult. And look, I'm going to use for example. Okay,
they're a cult.
I have a friend that's a liberal. He's on TikTok. We talk every so often. I comment on one of his videos because he was trying to make it as if like Jesus didn't exist.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, yeah, there is evidence. And they're like, well, show us the evidence. It don't matter if I show you the evidence.
You're not going to believe.
And then there was one person that went on there and said, well, there is evidence that Jesus was here, but he was one person, didn't have a significant impact. The Roman government used a calendar
right
after his death.
Right. Right.
Look, it don't matter with look, these people. They try to tell us that we need deprogramming, and I'm not advertising for people to be deprogrammed. But what about them? They believe anything that comes off of the Clinton News Network.
Well, I heard, because it's gonna go with this. I heard a Supreme Court. They said they had a Supreme Court that did a ruling years ago. The Supreme Court says, whatever you see, your religion is how much you're determined to be your. Like, for example, if you're fighting for something you believe in with all your might, if your full heart is into something, that is your religion, the Supreme Court says. So for the Democrats or liberals, like, to get mad and go blow up buildings and tear up cars and get mad when things don't go their way, liberalism and Democrat Party is their religion.
Yep, it is.
It is. You can say what you want. It is a religion. Atheism is a religion. Evolution.
Even conservatism to some people is a religion.
It's a religion. It's whatever you put your heart into, whatever you soar with your might. It's a religion.
This isn't the first time she says something stupid like this.
Yeah.
The basket of deplorables.
All right.
I got a question for you, and I believe she honestly thinks this. Does she think that us conservatives are stupid?
Oh, yes, I agree. So, but this is their thing. You got to think like they think.
Yep.
You have to. It's like with the Hitler and the Nazis and the communists and all these groups. You had freedom as long as you kissed behind with the leader and his government or his communist thing. You had all the freedom in the world, and then even then you have to watch out. But it's just the idea. But you step outside that thinking. You go over their line or what their indoctrination thing was or their program. You didn't think like them. Oh, you were sent to a concentration camp or Siberia in Russia. Or, in Germany's case, concentration camp. So their thinking is you have to be programmed like them. To have freedom of speech, you got to be like them.
Oh, but what's the sad thing about this is, too, Boogie, you know how many people are not going to talk about this? We talk about it here on this program, and other podcasts have brought it out. I heard about it, but a lot of people won't be talking about this.
No, it's a religion.
Not on the mainstream media. Not on the mainstream media. They're not going to criticize Hillary Clinton like we did.
No, you know how back in the day when people said "Hell Hitler" and "Hell the Nazi Party," to them it's "Hell liberalism." It is. They're loyal like that.
So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take our final break. We're going to come back in a few moments, so please stay tuned for that.
That the four things that I think are most important is to be tough on hardened criminals. The criminal justice system, you got to help out people. And I did this for years and years and years as a prosecutor. Probably 80 to 85% of the people that came through the DA's office and through my prosecution experience, they got help to get back on track. About 15% were just hardened criminals that didn't deserve to be helped. They needed to go somewhere where they could not be a danger to you and I. And so we took care of putting those people in that place. I will fight for victims' rights. I've been a vice president of Crime Fighters, the largest victims group in the state, and dealt with victims all across the state and helped them navigate the criminal justice system and soothe their broken and aching hearts from their losses. And so I would continue to do that. I'd promote the early intervention program, and I would always, always, always be pro-life, pro-gun, and pro-Louisiana and fight for all your constitutional rights. So if you want somebody like me that has a tough on crime background, I think you would be well suited to join our team, and I would be honored to have your vote on October 14th.
This message is authorized by the campaign to elect Marty Maley Attorney General.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the third and final segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. Today, along for the ride on this episode, Anthony Hayes, co-host of Brothers Just Searchings with yours truly, and also book author, writer of 2 books. You can go ahead and check that out on his website, ArthurAnthonyHayes.wordpress.com. You can also find some information about him on brothersjustsearching.podcast.wordpress.com. Let's talk a little bit about Brothers Just Searching before we get into our topic.
Yes.
A lot of people will listen to this show, and I know a lot of people are Christians on this show. We have some listeners of both, but there's some that aren't listeners. Brothers Just Searching started almost 4 years ago. It's a year older than the Cajun Conservative.
Right.
Originally supposed to be a political show.
Right.
Turned out it wasn't. That wasn't what it was meant to be, and man, Boogie, 4 years
Already,
and
huh?
we are on some interesting topics right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like this show. A lot of people ask me, Isaac, don't you run out of topics? Not in the political world.
Oh no!
And
even in the biblical
In the
thing,
biblical world,
you
no.
always
Biblical,
got something going
in the
on.
biblical world, man, we the Bible is it's just a book full of topics. And it's funny, like the last couple of episodes we done, we didn't even plan the topics. It just rolled on from our conversation, and we
hit
just
us.
kept on going.
Yeah, I mean, even if like me, I heard like some stories growing up all my life, and there's some things I didn't catch. Like in the book of Joseph one time, I forgot what it was, but I read something one day. I was like, oh wow, I never caught that. So you'd be surprised. Never think that you can't go over these stories and learn something or something you never caught before.
Right. So, but brother, just searching on Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, and all the platforms that the Cajun Conservatives on. After you listen to this episode, go check them out. And you also give us a subscription, a like, and all that good stuff. Also with this podcast, if this is your first listening, this is your first time listening to this podcast, please give me a thumbs up, give me a review, and like and share on the platform you're listening on. All right, so Boogie,
Yes, sir.
since the Biden administration has got into office,
Doomsday.
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 Trump got out of office and we were in trouble. Not according to the Democrats, though.
Oh, no,
Oh, the
no.
Democrats. That was the greatest day in the world.
What the View said, what the white lady on the View said, she said the food is ever we had the best economy ever.
Oh, Joe Behar?
Yeah. She said so it's never been easier to buy food.
You gotta remember, she came from that alternate universe that Doctor Strange opened up.
Oh, Lord have mercy. She was in a
she
bubble
lives
or
in a
something.
fantasy, bro. She lives in
Yeah.
fantasy. But
She must not go grocery shopping.
well, no, she got her paid employees to do that.
Oh, that's why.
Ah,
That's why she thinks
man.
it's so easy to buy groceries.
Yeah,
she
don't-
got
has
the
to-
money and she
yeah,
don't go
she got
shopping
money.
herself.
Anyway, but going back to that, since the Biden administration has got into office, the border has been wide open, bro. And last week I told you about it. Kathy Hochulson, the New York governor, saying that the border is just way too open right now, and that
Really?
the government needs to do something. Like the Republicans. The Republicans need to stop worrying about the speakership and blame everything on the Republicans.
Sure.
Well,
Anybody but them.
soon after that episode last week, we have over 5 million illegal immigrants pass our border. So we're on track about 2 million a year. Now, the Biden administration magically, Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas talked about the immediate need to waive regulations and build border wall in Texas as the immigration surges. Now, conservatives, don't get your high hopes, because unfortunately, Mayorkas went ahead and backtracked a little bit and basically said no, we don't need that much of a border wall. He said Thursday after he backtracked. Secretary Mayorkas on Thursday backtracked from Biden administration statements made this week that talked of the need to waive dozens of federal laws to build a border wall in South Texas. This is his quote. "I want to address Thursday reporting relating to the border wall and be absolutely clear," he said in a statement. "There is no new administration policy which, with respect to border walls. From day one, this administration has made clear that a border wall is not the answer."
Oh, really?
Who
said that?
That's Secretary Mayorkas, Homeland Security
is he
Secretary.
Republican,
Oh,
or-
no, he was appointed by Biden.
Oh.
Now, it's funny, before this statement came out, though, because remember,
Right.
he talked about we need the immediate need.
Right.
The reason he backtracked was because Biden was asked in a in an Oval Office with somebody. He asked about his administration announcing a border wall construction in Texas. Said at the White House on Thursday that he tried to redirect that money. He didn't want the money for the border wall no more. And this was all locked in through Donald Trump, and denied that the border wall worked.
Oh, wow.
I'll answer one question on the border wall. The border wall, where money was appropriated for the border wall, I tried to get them to appropriate that, to redirect that money, Biden said. They didn't, they wouldn't. And in the meantime, there's nothing on the law other than they have to use the money for it was appointed. I can't stop that. When asked by a reporter if he believed the border wall worked, Biden said No. Just kind of funny when the border wall was going up and the Trump administration was there.
Things went down.
Yeah. There was hardly no legal immigration. People stopped coming. It's funny when the first day Biden got in there, people crossed over the border. Why? Because they were asked, why are you coming to America now? Because Biden is president and we can get into the country and don't have to worry about coming back. Like I said, it's funny how there's one other person that really loves that the border wall isn't going up, and that is the Mexico president. That's right.
Yeah.
The Biden administration building border wall is pure publicity. U.S. told us they don't want it. Now, it came directly from the left-leaning Mexico president, and he said it was just about publicity. Let me say it like this. The Biden administration told him that they do not want a border wall in between the U.S. and Mexico. And that news report this week that the administration was resuming construction of the border wall in Texas was about publicity. So, Boogie, the Mexican president, don't want a border wall.
Sure.
Boogie, go cross over Mexico and let's see what happens.
Right. Yeah, I'll probably be in a Mexican jail right now.
But that's because you're an American citizen.
Right.
But okay, look, I'm tired of the administration because look, Boogie, even the I'm trying to get these words out. Let me calm down. Even the sanctuary cities.
Oh, yeah.
Dark, Chicago, Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, caviar.
Caviar and cocktails. They don't want illegal immigration. Now New York, I'm using New York because Kathy Hochul and Mayor Adams, they're out there saying how if something don't get done,
disaster.
It's going to be a disaster. Why? Because remember a few months ago, just a few months ago,
they were like, come.
Yeah, come. Now that the governors of the South, Texas, Florida, and all these, they're sending them there. Oh, now all of a sudden they ain't a sanctuary city no more.
Well, this is what they're thinking. I got a little theory on that. What happened was, and most people believe that it was planned. The liberals are not worried about New York because they got control of the cities. You see, I have a friend of ours, and remember that lady we interviewed on Brothers Search, and she's from California.
Vilma Hagar.
Yeah, she said that, and I heard that from a few people from California and New York too. I have a friend of mine who actually works in New York. He came down here from New York, and I talked to his wife. She said, like New York, for example, she said most of the state of New York is conservative because of one city, New York. It overrides everybody's votes.
It's the same thing with California, Los Angeles, San Francisco, L.A. I think I said L.A. All these cities.
They control those
Sacramento,
cities.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with us, Boogie.
Yeah.
Look, we got a governor's race in a week. In
New Orleans and Baton Rouge.
In a week, yeah. In New York and Baton Rouge normally determine who's the governor.
Yeah.
Unless all the other parishes team up and say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and vote Republican.
Right.
It's not the governor's going to be blue.
Right. But this is the thing. They override other people's votes. And I think that's what the Democrats are doing in our elections and stuff. I really believe what they're doing in New York and what they're doing in these cities, I think they're trying to do it nationwide. They're trying to do it all over the United States now. They're trying to take it to a bigger level.
Their goal, and we've already said this too before, and I think this is one of many issues at the border. They want Texas blue.
Yes, they said that. I heard that.
I hate to say it. Texas ain't turning blue unless they come through the southern border. And look, Texas has strict voting laws, and thank goodness for strict voting laws in the state of Texas. Because if they were like California, where Mickey Mouse can vote 27 times, Texas would turn blue, and the Republicans would never ever win another election.
And that was, I think, the plan.
I think, but now they're mad because all these illegal immigrants are going up to New York, Chicago, and now they're getting angry. But Boogie, 5 million people.
But you know what they're
and look, they have a video. Because you hear the Democrats' argument. Oh, these are women and children.
Sure, they always,
There was a video of the other day of illegal immigrants riding a train. Not one woman amongst them. These are men.
Right.
Boogie, this is not no longer people coming over to get a better life. This is an invasion of our country.
Well, this is the thing.
How I feel about it.
Well, this is the thing. What happened, I think, with the Democrats. I think they had it all planned. They were like, well, we're gonna let all the Mexicans, all the Spanish people flood Texas, and let the stupid conservative states pay the bill, pay for their housing
like
and
that no
everything.
more.
And we just sit back and we just get all the votes and all the money and all the benefits and let the stupid conservatives be some dummies and let them do everything. But what happened was it backfired. And now they don't like it. See, I was not part of the plan. That's why they're so mad. The plan was they wanted to turn Texas and these other states, even Louisiana probably, they want to turn all of us blue. And so what they're doing with these cities, you know, when these cities vote, they're overriding all the other people. That's what I think what they're doing with the Mexicans and the Spanish. I think they're trying to make it where they got so much of them where they're overwhelming us.
And you know it's sad though too.
And they
Bogie,
talk about voting suppression. That's what they're doing.
Well, this is the whole, and I was about to talk about that. You know, look, they did it with the Democrats did it with the African American community for years. The black community, have been used by the Democrat Party. The Republicans don't care about you. Now it is getting to a point where they're using the illegal immigrants to try to get what they want, and it is sad that we have come to this point as America.
Because they can't win with Americans
But
no more.
going back to this book, it's funny how Biden shut that down real quick.
Right.
When you had Secretary Mayorkas come out, he said, but it was maybe somebody in his administration, said, look, we need a border wall. All of a sudden, no, the border wall don't work. No, the border. Like I said, let's go back to Trump.
And now it's on their doorstep.
When the wall was being built under President Trump and illegal immigration laws were being kept. It's funny how we didn't have that many illegal immigrants. Now, they had some coming over.
But it wasn't as
much. And Boogie, it's just the Democrat Party, they want open borders.
Yeah, it helps them.
It helps them. It helps them because, you know, look, Dinesh D'Souza did the best job on this. I can't remember what episode was. It might have been Hillary's America. I'm not sure. Where they took the Irish community, Irish and Ireland immigrants.
When they were getting off the
Democrats
boats.
helped them come off, and they gave them a place. But the first thing out their mouth was, you have to vote Democrat.
And that's the same thing they're doing right now with the Spanish. Trust me, they're at the border. They got their people. They're just not having cameras, or they're not getting people to expose it too much. But trust me, I believe they're there. I believe they're like, hey, here's the papers. They got it in Spanish or whatever. Hey, we did this. The Democrat Party made it wonderful for you.
What about all these people that are coming across the border that has pockets full of money?
Yeah, where they getting the money?
Where are they getting this cash from?
I'm an American citizen. I don't get that much money.
We live paycheck to paycheck us.
Yeah, it's sad when people. Yeah.
So remember you remember the baby formula?
Yeah.
Shortish a while back.
Yeah, for Ukraine,
No,
was it for Ukraine?
No, it was in the United States. Remember they had this formula
I remember
thing?
that.
American citizens couldn't get formula.
Because they sent it all to Ukraine.
No. It wasn't just it was to the border.
Oh,
they were getting
really?
this stuff by the crates.
Oh,
and look, don't get me wrong. I want people that are listening to this, don't think that you and I are not, we're not, we're tyrants.
No.
Oh, we want all the stuff for us and not. No.
No,
If you have some people at the border that really need help,
fine.
And babies that really need it, yes. But Boogie,
they're doing that because they want this,
illegal immigrants are a higher standard of a priority than the United States citizen.
Because they know they can't win with American citizens. That's the whole thing. They can't win with Americans no more almost.
Now let's go. Let's bring this back to a circle though.
Yeah.
It's funny how this talk of border walls coming about. I hate that. Well, I would love to hear a Democrat say this, but is this showing that Trump policies work? Because this isn't the first Trump policy that Democrats want to put.
They don't want to admit that.
Because under the surface, I heard of another Trump policy that's possibly coming into place. And Boogie,
so it's a strong possibility he was not that stupid like they were trying to make him to be.
Well, let's go back to the first segment with Israel. Do you know who warned that Iran would use this against Israel?
Trump, probably.
Trump. You know what everybody said? Oh, Trump, you're a dummy. Go take care of your court cases.
Yeah.
Look who's right now.
Yeah. We're the smart ones. We've been here for years in the White House.
Who said that, hey, if you stop that border wall, you're going to have a flood of immigration? Trump, you stupid.
Every time. Well, the economy. They laughed at when he was running. They asked if you president, how much the economy will pick up? He said, well, I think it's gonna pick up this certain point. I forgot what point he mentioned.
Obama was like, oh, that's never gonna happen.
He needs a magic wand.
Yeah.
They made fun of him, and then they said the economists were shocked when a few years of his presidency, the economy went down.
This proves to a point too, because like I said, when I first started prepping for this story, I was like, my point was gonna be, oh, Trump was right and the Biden administration was wrong. Now they got to put Trump policies into place
To
But
make
now they're
them look good.
Now they're
Oh.
backtracking though. Boogie, to be honest with you, somebody can go to President Biden and tell him, listen, this is going to help the country. This is going to benefit the nation. It's going to help every single American.
Because it came from
And
Trump.
You know
they don't
what I
want
was
it.
about to say? They're going to ask, well, does Trump like this plan? And if they say Trump does, Biden will go to totally opposite. That's why I call this man Backwards Joe. A lot of people ask, why you nickname him Backwards Joe? Because he does everything backwards.
You know, yeah.
Look, President Joe Biden
Yeah.
had the same chance that Bill Clinton had.
Right.
This is what I'm going to explain on it. Bill Clinton, under the Reagan and the Bush administration, had the best economy going in. He hit the golden age of technology at that time.
So happens he had his time.
And look, Bill Clinton's policies was horrible, dude. Look, I still got Democrats that talk to me. Bill Clinton was one of the greatest presidents. Yeah,
His economy was great.
Yeah, he ran on the coattails of Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, they don't tell you that.
Biden had the same opportunity, Boogie.
And he just ruined it.
He ruined it. The first day signing 17 executive orders.
And you know, if I'm not mistaken, he was running, Bill Clinton was running on their economy, but my understanding was majority of the House was Republican.
Yeah, Newt Gingrich.
See, you don't hear that.
Yeah, you don't hear that. You hear about how good, but going back to that, Biden had the opportunity to make his presidency one of the greatest if he kept Trump policy. But if he would have kept Trump policy,
They hate Trump so bad that
it would have proved that Trump was right, and people would have started asking the question why we voted. I think people are asking that now. Why did we vote Donald Trump out?
yeah, things were going great.
We were offered a bag of gold, and all we got was a bag of sand.
I mean, I remember when you went pay for gas, it was cheap, it was affordable. You went pay for food, it was reasonable. I mean, when you went to work, you feel like, wow, I'm really earning something. Now with this president, you don't have a middle class no more. Because think
almost
about
gone.
it. Well, yeah, think about it. If you're paying, middle class was, okay, when you paid your bills and you paid for food, you had extra money to go to Disneyland. I don't know why anybody was go to Disneyland.
I would rather go
now.
to the Ark Encounter.
Right. Me too.
If Kid
Yeah.
Ham is listening or
Yeah,
somebody from
I'd rather
Answers
go
to Genesis,
there.
please send us. We will
Yeah,
gladly go on
I'd
a
rather
trip.
go in there. But my deal is, back in the day, I remember growing up, you had enough money to go places. You had money left over. It's kind of like when Jesus multiplied the fish and the bread. There were 12 baskets left over. That's a middle class.
Now they
But
tax for the basket.
Yeah, now after you go, and everybody, this is not a conspiracy. Anybody knows this right now. You go to the store. I went to the store the other day. My boss gave me a bonus. I won't say how much it was, but back in the day, the bonus he gave me when Trump was in office, I would have still had money left over. And I just went by a few things, and it was still reasonable compared to other stuff. I didn't have no money left over. It didn't stretch at all. Back when he was in office, or even when Obama was in office, I had some money left over. This president, you got no money at all. You have no leftovers at all. After you pay your bills and food, you got nothing.
And it's hard on the people that's living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, like us, yeah.
But Boogie, this is what's sad. Is like a border wall don't work. They're letting people cross over the border. And look, 9 out of 10, a lot of these illegal immigrants are taking over the food stamp
Sure.
office. They're taking over the
And are they
welfare.
paying taxes, most of them?
No, they're not. No,
Probably not.
No, because that's when they like to say we not no citizen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to make fun of the Mexican people, but that's kind of funny when they say that we're not a citizen. When you say, hey, you got to pay taxes. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I'm not a citizen.
All of
a
a
sudden now you not being a citizen, but everything else. Oh, I want food stamp. I want welfare. I need free cell phone. Boogie, some of these people are getting off of airplanes and they're giving them bags with cell phones
And tons of money.
and stuff like that. But I just
They're pretty much laying out the red carpet for him.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah. And like I said, but it's sad. Now look, when I first heard this, I was like, wow, they must finally make. But when Biden said nope, a border wall don't work, and then you have the president of Mexico saying, "Oh, I'm happy," because a while back, he said, "This is the first president that never ever built a wall."
But you know why?
I'm happy. Yeah, because he's getting Boogie. His
He's getting
economy's
benefit.
flourishing.
Well, this is the thing. What most Spanish do, and I know I worked with Spanish. I talked to them.
But you're a landscaper.
yeah,
so
yeah. I talk with
You're
them.
one of the few Americans that will get into the ground like myself and get dirty.
Well, the thing is, they tell me, they're like, we send money to Mexico. So the president likes that when they send money to them, because their money is not, our money's worth way more than their money. So they like it. But this is the problem out. It's not like it was back in the 80s and 90s or 70s when they did send money just to their families. Now they believe they're sending money to cartels now.
Oh yeah, cartels.
Yeah.
Especially if a cartel sends them over, they have to pay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like it used to be.
Let's say that, and look, we gotta wrap
That's
this
true.
up. We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah.
I worked with a few Mexicans
Sure.
at the sugarcane plant,
Yeah.
and one of them said, "Yeah, I build a house for myself, and I build a house for my families."
We couldn't do that over here.
No,
now.
we can't do that. Yeah, because their money's so. Our money is so rich in Mexico.
Yeah.
And this is why the Mexican president. But like I said, let us try to go to Mexico.
Oh Lord, we'd be in jail.
But
We'll be in jail, sing Kumbaya and eating
you remember
Mexican food.
You remember the guy that was a vet, a military vet.
Yeah, I heard about
crossed over the border by accident.
They
The
arrested
Mexican
him.
officials arrested him, and he's still in jail, to my knowledge, until this day. And it's sad.
And watch, just against me. If America's so evil, the liberals and the Democrats, America is so evil, it's so
Yeah, why we have
Satan,
all these people coming
then
over?
why are they coming over here if America is so bad? So that tells you right there, what the liberals are telling us, that America's the devil, it's evil, and we're destroying the world, and we're a bunch of dictators and trying to take over people's countries and oil and everything. Then why are they coming over here if we're so evil?
Because it's the same question I ask liberals when they Donald Trump this. Why don't you move? Hey, I'm still waiting for Miley Cyrus to move.
Oh, they're not gonna move.
No, they have it
They
too
ain't
good
stupid.
here.
Yeah, they know they can open their mouth here and not get in jail
You're
or
right on
Siberia.
that. Well, Book, thank you.
Oh,
thank you for
appreciate it. I
coming
enjoyed
on.
it.
Hey.
Yeah.
So until next time, you always welcome back. We might have to make
Okay,
this a
we'll
little bit
see.
more.
We'll see what happens.
All right, that was Mr. Anthony Hayes. He is the writer of The New Kingdom with Liberty Man and the Evil Stone. That is his latest book. He's also the co-host of Brothers Just Searching podcast. Go check it out after you listen to this episode. That will wrap it up for us on this episode today. I want to thank you as always. Please again subscribe, follow on the platform you're listening on. If it gives you the opportunity to leave us a review, please leave us a 5-star review. That helps us out more than you know. It gets the show out there. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe and please hit that bell. Rumble, hit the follow button on the video platform. Listen to all our shows on Apple, Google, Spotify, and many other platforms. You can find all them platforms on the CajunConservative.wordpress.com. Just remember that Jesus Christ is King. He's coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. If you want to know Jesus, your Lord and Savior, reach out to me at the CajunConservative5@gmail.com, and I'll tell you how to make Jesus your Savior and heaven your home. So until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. You have a good one.
And he is the open